Hello, room full of people. This is my mentee Kyira, and we wanted to write a piece that focused on some type of shared experience. And when I found that Kyira had impressively been to Turkey, I suggested she write about that, and I'd write about the year I spent working in Spain.
My name is Kyira, and the name of my story is my first international trip. I went to Turkey for space camp. I was so excited to be leaving the U.S. for the first time. I was 12 years old, and my after-school science club had managed to sell thousands of dollars worth of baked goods to cover the $1,500 for each individual plane ticket. I was only with friends and my science teacher, no parents whatsoever. The flight left from JFK Airport with one sign saying Turkey and another saying Japan. When my friends and I saw the Japan sign, we all wished that was where we were going, but we weren't. We were going on a 12-hour flight to Istanbul. After we reached Istanbul, we took a 2-hour flight to Izmir, where our space camp was located. My school was the first to arrive. The building had a big rocket that looked so real that me and my friends thought it would take off any second into the big blue sky. And it had a nice big blue, yellow, white, and red sign that read Space Camp Turkey. I didn't know what to expect, but I did expect to have fun. But what I didn't expect was to go to a restaurant where I couldn't wear shoes and I had to sit on the floor covered with pillows. Nor did I expect to eat pasta, vanilla yogurt, and tomato sauce. What I did expect was to have a memorable trip, which I did. I met a lot of great new friends, expanded from Israel, Greece, and of course, Turkey. I also tried delicious foods like tomato soup with mozzarella cheese, apricots, cornflakes with poured on sugar. My campmates and I missed our Frosted Flakes. And I had a very bad tasting juice called Tang. At camp, we experienced what it's like being an astronaut, from trying on spacesuits to launching a rocket. More than that, however, we were able to experience what it's like being Turkish. And that's it.
My piece is called The Lone American. The Frommer's Travel Guide online entry for Valladolid, Spain is nearly blank. The introduction is 3 paragraphs explaining the city's century of decline and extreme weather, brutally cold in the winter and boiling hot in the summer. The nightlife entry begins like so. There are no great clubs to recommend in Valladolid. Guidebooks give tourists little incentive to visit this landlocked industrial city of 400,000 people about 2 hours northwest of Madrid. And they don't. I know, because I lived there for a year and I didn't see a single one. In 2004, I got a job as an English teacher in Valladolid. Initially, I had looked east to Asia, where the schools offered attractive salaries and benefits. But I hit a huge snag when I applied for a position in Seoul. They only hired white teachers. I'm black. My confidence in finding work in Asia ruined, I searched a job board with listings in Europe. I knew enough Spanish to work in Spain without any serious adjustment, so when I saw an ad for a position in Valladolid, I sent an email containing my qualifications. But spooked by the photo requirement, I asked if they hired non-white teachers. To my surprise, the owners, Surly and Januse Watson, quickly contacted me for a phone interview. They hired me. I had 2 weeks to arrive. I had never heard of Valladolid, but it was still sunny Spain, so how bad could it be? Upon arrival, I met the Watsons, an Irish-Iranian married couple who practiced the Baha'i faith. So naturally, for them, my application had stood out. The weather was temperate when I arrived, so I bounded up and down the city streets, marveling at everything. Expat life was great for about 3 weeks. Valladolid is the provincial capital of Castilla y León and one time imperial capital. Legend has it that King Philip II packed up for Madrid after realizing that his health couldn't withstand the brutal winters, leaving behind a massive, unfinished cathedral, forever branding the city as Madrid's forgotten stepchild. My first month in Valladolid, I visited every site, bar, and restaurant of note alone, from the one Latin dance club to the one Cuban restaurant to the one large sports complex. I believed I'd done everything the city had to offer. It was hard to admit, but I was miserable. Eventually, I made peace with my normal life in a foreign country. I worked, I shopped. Neighborhood shopkeepers, bartenders, and waiters started to get to know me by name. I was a local American, and yes, I made some friends. And I learned to appreciate some of the city's unique charms. Now, if I mention that I taught English in Spain, I neutralized visions of suntans and sand by adding the words cold and a city you've never heard of before the word Spain. Try me, they say. Valladolid. You're right, I've never heard of it. Yes, a lot of those dismal remarks and Frommers are true, but I'm a competitive traveler, and I can say I've been to Valladolid while you haven't.